There's something about January that feels like a clean slate, right? New calendars, new planners, new energy. Everywhere you look, it's new year, new you. Like we're all supposed to emerge from the holidays reborn as green juicing, 5 a.m. waking, vision board and goddesses.
If only it were that easy, right? I do love the idea of a fresh start, but that new you pressure just feels like a trap. It's like we forget we're already amazing, and then we pile on 42 new goals before our tree is even down.
Exactly. And let's be honest, most resolutions don't even make it to Valentine's Day. So today we're calling time out on the whole new year, new you cycle because you don't need a new you. You just need a renewed you.
Amen to that. Welcome back to Midlife and Glowing. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Alicia, and today we're talking about why you don't need New Year's resolutions and what we do instead that actually works. Let's start with the obvious. Resolutions sound empowering on January 1st. They give you that dopamine rush of possibility, but by week 3, you're over it. The gym's packed, you're sore, the fridge is empty except for celery, and suddenly Netflix feels like the only sustainable habit.
Yeah, the science totally backs that up too. Studies show about 80% of resolutions fail by mid-February. And it's not because people are lazy, it's because the human brain hates extremes. When we try to overhaul our entire life overnight, our nervous system basically says, nope, too much, I'm out.
Right. And we go from peppermint mocha mode to spinach smoothie boot camp. That shock to the system is not a vibe, especially in midlife, when our hormones, energy, and patience, they're already in a delicate dance.
Yeah, the thing is, your nervous system thrives on stability, not shock therapy. Big, rigid solutions trigger stress hormones, think cortisol spikes, and that can actually tank motivation long term. It's the same reason crash diets backfire. Your body perceives them as stress, not self-care.
So basically, the new me plan is really just a nervous system freak out in disguise.
Pretty much. And at this stage in life, what we really need is steadiness, grace, consistency that feels supportive, not punishing. We've talked so many times on this podcast about James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, and those little micro improvements that add up over time. So that's the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, for me, I stopped doing resolutions years ago. Instead, I started setting a tone for the year, like a theme. One word that reminds me how I want to feel, not what I need to fix.
I love that. Mine one year was gratitude because I realized I didn't need another color-coded habit tracker. I needed to stop micromanaging myself and start trusting myself and appreciating all the good in my life. When we focus on feeling instead of fixing, we build habits that actually stick.
And that's so midlife, isn't it? We've spent decades chasing perfection, and now it's about peace. You know, it's funny, when I was younger, I used to not leave my house unless I was in full makeup and totally put together, even if it was just to go to the grocery store. But in midlife, your give-a-dams are really busted. You know, I still get dressed for myself and get ready for myself because I feel better that way. But if I'm just in sweats and I need to run to the store, I don't pressure myself to look perfect anymore. I just say, F it and do what I gotta do.
Hey, there you go. I'm with you 100% on that. And the thing is, we put pressure on ourselves to be perfect, but nobody cares if you show up at the grocery store in your sweats, right? And the other thing is, peace doesn't come from 20 new rules. It comes from small, aligned actions repeated with intention.
Right, like the kind of actions that we lay out in our daily rituals guide. You know, tiny rituals you can weave into your real life. Your morning coffee, your walk, and how you talk to yourself.
We aren't going for an overnight overhaul. Our philosophy has always been supporting who you already are every single day and taking small aligned steps to feel great. But here's the thing, midlife resets hit differently. Our goals shift from get abs to have energy, from fit into jeans to feel good in my skin. Hormonal changes mean we need gentler forms of consistency, which means less hustle and more harmony.
Yes, and because we're juggling so much, kids, parents, work, hot flashes, the idea of a massive overhaul is just exhausting. What we need is a reminder to do less, but better.
It's not discipline we're lacking, it's nervous system capacity. When you're constantly on high alert, no amount of motivation is going to stick. That's why it's important to calm your body before you change your habits.
This kind of reminds me of last night, and I think this will bring us into our next section here. I had a very busy day of work, and I went outside of my office into my main living area, and I noticed the floors needed to be vacuumed. I noticed our drink fridge needed to be restocked. Dinner needed to be made. There was all these things. There was dishes in the sink. The dishwasher needed to be unloaded. All these things that needed to be done. And I was just completely overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I go in the bathroom, the garbage is overflowing, and I'm like, yeah, am I the only one that lives here and notices this? But I was completely overwhelmed. And, like when that happens, sometimes you get in a state of paralysis. Like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what, whatever. And then once some of my family members started to trickle in, I'm like, you know what? I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And then I kind of just took a few deep breaths, and I'm like, everything's going to be okay. But I like cleanliness. I like when things are put in their place. I like, when there's not food on the floor. As normal people probably like that. But and it was just, I was totally overwhelmed and just wanted to crawl in a hole and just actually get in my car and drive away. And to be completely honest, I thought about it for a second. But I'm like, you know what? I got this. Let's take some deep breaths, because it's all going to be here tomorrow if I don't get to it today. And I had to just tell myself and give myself grace. It is not the end of the world if the floor does not get vacuumed tonight, or the drinks don't get restocked. And, I had all of this anxiety and all of this built up stress. And I'm like, let's take some breaths. It's not the end of the world. It's all going to get done, and it's all going to be fine. And then, I had the help a little bit. I'm not going to say it was a big, great help, but there was some help. And then the rest, I'm just like, you know what? I'll get to it when I get to it. And that's not something that I'm one that I would stay up late to do all the things, because I don't like to go to bed with things unsettled or not cleaned or picked up or whatever. But I had to just give myself grace, take some breaths, and just be okay with it.
I love that. I mean, I think it's a practice to get into that habit of, getting into the mindset of being, the nervous system regulation, right? Using the deep breathing or meditation or, awareness practices about that, right? You developed that awareness of yourself in that situation. Okay, I will be okay. The world will not end if the floors do not get vacuumed tonight. And guess what? I can do it tomorrow. I think that's a great lesson for all of us, because, it's so easy to get swept up into that. It's like that spiral. You said you were overwhelmed. You once you start to see all of these things, then you see more of those things. And you're like, before you know it, you're hyperventilating, because you're like, oh my gosh, what?
And to other people,
right.
It doesn't really, you're that bothered by that? But yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I was, okay, but I got over it.
Yeah. See, there we go. You got yourself.
I used my tools.
You used your tools to get back to a place where you felt good.
And I'm not talking about my children and husband when I say tools.
But yeah, I mean, that's really my favorite topic, right? Nervous system regulation, whether it's deep breathing, meditation, or yoga nidra. When we reset the body first, change becomes sustainable. Otherwise, you're just layering more stress on top of stress.
And speaking of yoga nidra, your Radiant Rest series has been such a game changer for me. I swear it's like an instant reset button. And this is coming from someone that does not relax well, okay? I don't do well with meditation because I can't get my brain to stop. I think there's a condition for that, but we're not going to get into it. But It does. It's so great that it like walks you through the next step. So you're not just laying there with your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure so many women listening right now can 100% relate to that, because I can't tell you how many times I've talked to women in, whether over the years, mentioning something like meditation. They're like, nope, can't do it, for the exact same reason you just mentioned. And honestly, it's exactly why I love Yoga Nidra. There's a lot of reasons that I love Yoga Nidra, but it's why I love Yoga Nidra, and that's why I created the Yoga Nidra series for women who feel like they're running on fumes. It's not another thing to do. It's a way to finally rest. Get the rest that you need.
Absolutely. It definitely puts you in a more restful state, and that's so important. We need to be more in that parasympathetic mode.
Yes.
So yeah, that
Speak
is
my
definitely,
language.
yep. So definitely check that out. We'll make sure we link that. And I feel like it's the perfect teaser for our reset ritual segment, which is coming up. But let's talk about how midlife actually gives us an advantage when it comes to goals.
Oh, yeah, because at this stage, we finally know ourselves. We've tried all the things, failed at a bunch, learned what matters. We're wiser now. Resolutions are about who you think you should be, but rituals are about honoring who you already are.
That right there, that's the energy I want to take into 2026.
Same. Not a new me, just a more me.
Okay, let's move into the fun part, the reset ritual. So let's start by taking a pause. Wherever you are, unless you're driving, take a second to get comfortable.
Relax your jaw. Allow your shoulders to drop away from your ears. Soften your forehead. Take a deep breath in through your nose and sigh it out.
Let's do that again. Big inhale, filling your lungs, softening your belly, and then let it go.
One more. This time, imagine you're breathing out all the pressure to be perfect, all the shoulds and musts that have been weighing you down.
Now, I want you to think of one word that feels like your intention for 2026. Maybe it's peace, maybe it's strength, maybe it's clarity, joy, or presence. Whatever comes to mind first, trust that it's right.
Hold that word in your heart. Let it settle into your breath. That single word can guide your choices this year more powerfully than a list of resolutions ever could.
And this is something you can do anytime. It takes less than a minute. Just breathe, soften, and reconnect. This is what we mean when we talk about reset rituals. It's not about adding something new. It's about remembering who you are beneath the noise.
Exactly. That's the kind of reset that actually lasts because it regulates your nervous system. And when your body feels safe, your mind stops fighting you. This is also where practices like Yoga Nidra, the kind that I guide in our Radiant Rest series, are so powerful. You're literally retraining your body to relax and reset. It's deep rest without needing to try.
It's honestly magic. The first time I did your reconnection session, I woke up feeling like my mind had been rebooted. And it's such a perfect way to start a new year. Not by hustling, but by grounding.
Before we go out and build new habits, we have to support stable energy. That's why this reset ritual matters. It teaches your body how to feel calm and capable. From there, sustainable change becomes second nature. And that's also why practices like Yoga Nidra are so powerful. When your body reaches that deep state of rest, your brain shifts into slower brainwave states, the same ones that connect to your subconscious mind. That's where your most ingrained thought patterns and beliefs live. In this relaxed state, you're able to gently rewire old programming. The self-doubt, the I can't stick with things, the I'm too late to start stories, and replace them with calm, empowering truths. You're not just resting your body, you're resetting your mind. And that right there is my personal favorite reason that I love Yoga Nidra, because it helps you rewire subconscious belief patterns in a really relaxing way.
Absolutely. So let's talk about what you could do instead of resolutions, because we know what doesn't work: cold turkey goals, perfection pressure, and punishing routines.
Right. What works, especially in midlife, is rhythm. Small, repeatable rituals that fit your real life, like 5 minutes of morning sunlight while you sip your coffee, a mid-afternoon stretch break, a consistent bedtime.
Consistency over intensity.
Every time.
You know, that kind of reminds me of, you're kind of getting old. And I'm not calling ourselves old, but like you're getting older, more mature. I think back to, growing up, and a joke was grandma would say, even if it was on a Sunday, oh, she had to get going because she had to get the mail.
Oh, yeah.
And, we always kind of laughed about it. Like, you don't even have mail coming on Sunday. Like, why do you have to get home to get mail? But I get it now. Okay?
Totally.
Because routines and schedules and consistency is so settling.
Yeah.
And it's not to say don't do the things, don't go out and have fun and all the things, but like, I get it now. Okay. I crave consistency and routine. And when you get out of that, it's a little unsettling. Not to say you're not having fun, but it's just like a part of you also can't wait to get home and continue with your routine.
Right.
But also definitely don't just stick in your routine, because what did we say before? You don't grow in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So, there's two sides of it. All right. But I get it. That's what I'm saying.
Don't get stuck in a rut. Routines are good, but don't get stuck in a rut and, prevent yourself from pushing towards your goals. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yes.
And I can totally relate to that. I actually, last weekend before, I don't remember what it was. I decided to pop up to see everybody on a Sunday, and Mom was like, well, aren't you going to stay the night? And I'm like, no. And, I wanted to get up there and see everybody, so I did it, but I promised myself that I was going to come home so that I wouldn't get out of that, consistency in your routine, and, you're missing your workout then, and your diet is different, and all of those things are, then you might not get your meditation, all of these different pieces that I crave. And it makes you feel so much better when you are in that consistent routine of those health habits. It makes a difference. So every time, consistency every time. And this is where habit science meets hormone health. When you repeat small habits consistently, you strengthen neural pathways that make the behavior automatic. That means less willpower, less mental load, and it's easier to stick to them then, right? Like I just was saying, I chose to basically drive 6 hours in one day so that it wasn't a hard decision for me. Like I wanted to do it. I wanted to stay consistent, right? Because it makes me feel good. And the beauty of those small habits is that they compound.
Absolutely. Like brushing your teeth. You don't even think about it anymore. You just do it. It's maintenance for your glow, for your health.
Yeah. And our audience, women in midlife, we already have enough to manage, right? The last thing we need is another all or nothing project. So start where you are. Ask yourself, what would make today just 1% easier, 1% calmer, 1% more joyful?
I love that. The 1% glow up. You don't need a new routine. You need a new rhythm.
And that's why I always say motivation doesn't create action. Action creates motivation. Once you feel that first spark of success, your brain rewards you with dopamine, and suddenly it's easier to keep going.
Okay, can we talk about something I see all the time? The guilt spiral. You miss one workout, or you grab the holiday leftovers, and then it's like, well, I already messed up. Might as well give up now. I was in this last week because I was not feeling my greatest. I had a little bit of a cold. It wasn't as a huge full-blown cold, but I'm someone that will still continue to do my workout even if I'm dying in bed. But last week I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna honor my body today. I'm not feeling the best. I don't want to get worse. So today I'm going to skip my workout, and I'm not going to feel guilty about it. So I definitely get caught up in the guilt spiral. And normally I do, but I made a conscious decision last week that I was not at my best. So I didn't need to make myself worse. So I was honoring my body and took the rest I needed.
Love it. I love that so much.
And I didn't give up. You know, I still have continued to do my workouts, even though I missed one or two. You know, you don't need to give up and say, oh,
Right.
I already gained 5 pounds. Might as well just keep going.
Yeah, right. Screw
You
it.
know?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That all or nothing trap. It's one of the biggest mindset hurdles I see in my practice. But the truth is, missing a day doesn't erase your progress. It's part of the process. Your body responds to patterns, not necessarily perfection.
Say that again for the people in the back. Your body responds to patterns, not perfection.
Yes, exactly. When you let go of the idea that one slip ruins everything, you create space for self-compassion, and self-compassion is the secret sauce to lasting wellness. None of us need more hustle. We need restoration and a reminder to care for ourselves.
And sometimes that means swapping the HIIT workout for a hot bath or the green smoothie for dinner with friends.
Exactly. That is wellness, listening to what your body actually needs.
So what if instead of saying, this year I'm going to lose 10 pounds, we said, this year I'm going to feel strong in my body.
Or instead of, I'm going to meditate every day, try, I'm going to create more calm moments in my day. That's the reframe, from results to relationships, your relationship with yourself.
I love that because goals fade, but identity sticks. When you start identifying as the kind of woman who takes care of herself, your habits naturally align.
Yes, that's straight from behavioral psychology. Identity-based habits are far more effective than outcome-based ones. So rather than I want to eat healthier, it's I'm the kind of person who nourishes my body with food that makes me feel great.
I love that. And that also applies to every area. Wellness, relationships, even style. Like I'm the kind of woman who gets dressed with intention, who wears clothes that make me feel confident and comfortable right now. Not 10 pounds ago or 10 years ago. And sometimes it's a cute sweat set. It doesn't have to be a fancy dress.
Heck yeah. And that kind of energy ripples out. When you feel aligned in your body, your choices follow suit.
And this is the magic of midlife. We finally get to redefine success, not in numbers or achievements, but in how we feel.
Yes, and feeling good isn't frivolous, it's foundational. When your nervous system is calm, your hormones regulate better. Your digestion improves, your energy rises, your mood stabilizes. It's literally the biology of feeling good.
So this year, let's stop chasing the new me and let's nurture the true me.
Okay, let's make this practical. Here's your 2026 reset plan, Midlife and Glowing style. No pressure, just a few prompts to anchor your energy. Number 1, pick your word for the year, the one we talked about earlier. Number 2, choose one daily glow ritual to practice consistently. Maybe it's 5 minutes of sunlight, journaling, or gratitude before bed. Number 3, schedule your rest. Literally put it on the calendar. Rest is not a reward, it's your reset button. Number 4, create a reconnect moment weekly. This can be a walk, yoga nidra session, connecting with a friend or a loved one, or even sitting quietly with tea. And number 5, celebrate micro wins. You showed up, that's a win. You rested, that's a win.
I love it. And it's doable. And it actually feels good. You can even make it fun. Light a candle, play music, make your reset ritual something you look forward to, not dread.
Right. I do this every morning. It's actually, a lot of people will say, oh, I hate getting up in the morning when the alarm goes off, whatever. And I don't actually use an alarm, but I get up early and I actually love getting up because, I am a morning person and I always have been. So, a little, caveat there. But I set my morning up so that the first thing that I do is something that I enjoy and I find really relaxing. I do my morning mineral drink, but then I go and do my meditation. So it's not like I'm getting up and I'm, doing something super stressful right away. I'm getting up and I'm essentially relaxing and pausing and, having an intentional start to the day. And it feels like such a good, relaxing way to begin. So it's something that I look forward to right? So try to create a ritual or an environment that actually would be something that you would enjoy. Because this isn't punishment, it's presence, and it's telling yourself you matter and you're worth spending the time and energy on. Nobody can do it for you. You have to make yourself a priority.
And if you're ready to really start this year from a place of calm, grounded energy, check out our Radiant Rest Yoga Nidra sessions. They're the perfect companion for this season, whether you're craving deep rest, reconnection, or just a moment of peace for yourself.
Yes, it's a gentle invitation to let your body exhale after the holidays. You'll find the link in the show notes.
All right, friends, as we head into this new year, remember, you don't need to reinvent yourself. You just need to remember yourself. And I gotta say, after having this conversation, I'm feeling extremely motivated to make 2026 the best year yet.
Love it. Me too. Let's do it. Let's all do it. This is your year to glow from the inside out, not by forcing change, but by embracing it. Choose rituals over resolutions, progress over perfection.
And if you want some extra support in weaving gentle, doable rituals into your days, grab our free Daily Glow Rituals Guide. It's full of simple practices to help you start your year in a way that actually feels good.
You can find the link in the show notes.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. If you love this episode, please share it with a friend who's ready for her own reset. Or leave us a review on your favorite podcast app.
We'd love to hear your word for the year. Come tell us on TikTok at Midlife and Glowing.
Let's make 2026 the year we glow, not grind.
Happy New Year, friends.
We'll see you next time.